right, and it is knife time once again. We are broadcasting from Junker Forge, listening to the lovely banda that's playing across the way at the cartel cell that lives down the street from me. Today, we're going to be getting into some groovy military and American history with the good old SOG Bowie. That's right. This happens to be the SOG Bowie 2.0. Very, very cool looking knife. And, Spencer Frazier founded SOG Knives in 1986 and dropped a little line of knives, but this was the one I always remember seeing and being like, damn. And through my teen years, I had a bunch of SOG knives. The SOG government was one of them. They don't produce that anymore, but if you want one, Rothko makes a blacked out version of it that they sell for a very low price, and I hear it's a pretty good knife. So anyways, let's get into some history. So there's this, before Spencer Frazier founded SOG Knives in 1986, he was inspired by the SOG V knives of Vietnam lore, special forces shit, and that's where he came up with the idea to make SOG knives, basically, because he was at gun shows, and there's videos of himself explaining all this on YouTube. So if you want to learn like a fully detailed history of the SOG Knives company or whatever, look him up. Interesting fellow. So he bought a original SOG at a gun show. Hi, Tyrion. How you doing, buddy? He likes my shirt. Anyway, so he bought an original SOG knife at a gun show, and that's what inspired him to start SOG Knives. But where the original SOG knife came from was this dude named Conrad, aka Ben Baker. And he was a World War II veteran, and he was linked up with some people, man. He was a G. And so he had hella military connections. He worked with MacArthur, I believe, during World War II. And then when the Nam conflict came around, they went to him and they said, hey, Ben, check it out, buddy. With the big WW2, we got the women half of America into the workforce, and that's really helping us, by doubling up the taxes. We're going to start building a interesting little walled city in the Middle East, and we appreciate that, and we got to give them more money. So what we're going to do now is start this little conflict in Southeast Asia, because there's these poppies there, and we're going to need your help getting the poppy juice out of Southeast Asia. So we're going to have you outfit and kit these special forces dudes up that are paired up with some Montagnard soldiers. And so can you do that for us? And old Ben Baker was like, well, hell yeah, brother. I will hell want some of that Papa juice. So they had him picking out stuff, and he drew inspiration from his father's Gladstone hunting knife that was made by Marbles. And he designed the original SOG V. And that's where that came from. He also, this is a replica of a Seiko, a turtleback Seiko. People call it the Willard watch because of Apocalypse Now. Ben Baker's the reason why Nam guys had Seiko watches like this. He outfitted out all kinds of kit. He had the original SOG V knives made in Japan. And anyways, so there's that history there. But here is the SOG Knives version of that knife. It's really cool. The grinds on this thing, nice and hollow, very exaggerated clip point, and the sharpened tip on this thing, if you look, it's got this sweet little, you can't really, there you go, there you can see that on the end there, how the little the very tip is like a razor blade, just that far on top. Perfect for those back cuts. And although I'm sure nothing like that's ever happened with one of these, they're really cool. Leather stacked handle, a phenolic spacer, little lanyard hole, a very interesting fastener there holds the whole thing together. These are pretty heavy duty. Mine's a little rattly because I live in the desert and the leather gets dry and it shrinks. And then I'll slather some more open-offs on here and it stops doing the ticking. But these are great. My goat's chewing on the K-bar. Boy, there, look at him. He's like, I want that K-bar. I gotta hide it. So, yeah, man, I always loved this knife. The finger grooves, everything. There's only one SOG knife that's cooler than this, and that's the SOG Agency, but they don't make it anymore. And if anybody ever finds one and you want to trade something, let me know, because I would really be happy about that. OS 10, maybe? I don't know. If I'm wrong, well, you can yell at me in the comments. Made in Taiwan, which... China and Taiwan, I mean, there's some great shit coming out of China, but Taiwan, even better. Yeah, Taiwan, these are still going for like $150, which is about what they were going for when I was a kid and wanted one, but like, I never got one because, well, hell, that was a lot of money, and I would have rather got something else, like a hunting rifle or something. Expensive knives are kind of crazy when you think about it, but anyways, I don't think this is too expensive. I think this is a very well valued knife for what you're getting. You're getting a nice thing, and it's kind of like a symbol of American history, you know. Without this, the inner cities of large metropolitan areas of America would have never been ravaged by the horrors of opiates. So you can thank old Ben Baker for helping that. Gotta love the government. So yeah, like I said, good hollow grinds. It's got a cool place you could choke up if you needed to, if you need to do some fine work, some detail work. This is a straight cong hunting knife, man. You could run around the jungle with this in your mouth. You know? Charlie's in the wire, brother. So yeah, here it is. I'm gonna set it here because my goat's getting kind of high feed because there's a boy goat. Very nice sheath on these. Stitched. It's got some rivets. My favorite thing, like, I love it when a knife company knows that the strap goes on this side of the sharp edge of the blade, because when you pull it out, it doesn't cut it. So many knife companies fail there. This actually does have a decent whetstone that comes with it. It's pretty fine, which that's all you need if you keep your blade tuned. You know what I'm saying? Although I would use my real whetstone unless I was in the field and this really needed sharpening, but I don't really take this in the field. This is the field I take this in. This is, yeah. And I do carry this from time to time. It's got some wear on it, if you look. Some of the bluing, oh, well, this is tie-nye finish. This is tie-nye finish, they call this. So it's some form of atomized titanium that has been applied upon the metal of this knife. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place here. It's been a weird couple days around Junker Forge. The storm system came through and they knocked out my communications yesterday. And so if you're seeing this, you should really appreciate me, because it means that I went and sat and ate some McDonald's to use their free Wi-Fi to upload this, because my comms are down at the forge. Got me a peppercorn encrusted corned beef smoking in my smoker right now to make some pastrami. Maybe I'll go get some rye to put that on. But yeah, so the Max SOG, well, this isn't a Max SOG, this is just a SOG, but I always wanted the Max SOG V Bark River knives version, and I slacked and I didn't get one when they were about, and so I've been pouting about that for a while. So a year or two ago I got this, till Bark River decides to bless us all with another run of those Max SOGs. Hopefully that won't be too long, and I'm kind of hopeful about it because towards the beginning of the year they dropped those V44s. So come on, Bark River, put it together, make us some Max SOG knives. This is great. This is a permanent piece in my collection, just because when I was a kid I would see this in the back of the magazines, and I'd see Captain Willard. The Max SOG version is in Apocalypse Now, man. There's one scene where he's on the boat and you see him grab a knife that looks very similar to this. And boy, I just really love, you know, I mean, here, let's compare it to this ugly piece of shit, the K-Bar. 1211. I bent it today some more and had to bend it back, and I know one of these days the tang's just gonna snap off. This poor thing, it's curved from beating shit, and, you know, with the Skull Crusher Pagliacci, and the little hilt has been bent up so many times. I'm sure that'll break off one of these days. But if you look, man, like, look at the difference between these two knives, and there's only like a $30 difference in price, and the amount of work. Well, and this is made in the USA, so basically what you're paying for with this knife is it's made in the USA by migrant workers that are getting a union wage. So that's kind of funny. When this one, you know, we all know what the get down is, or people getting paid overseas. They don't usually. But yeah, the SOG knives Bowie 2.0, man. This thing is it really is. It's ooh, it feels so good in hand. If you, man, I'm a non-flick fucking fan. That's like one of my favorite genres of film. And I could just like sit and watch non-movies and hold this and rub peanut butter on my nipples all day long if I could, but it's not a perfect world. I hope everybody's having a decent Saturday. It's Saturday for me. I'm gonna head out here in a minute in the rain, see if McDonald's will let me use their Wi-Fi while I drink a bottled water, because I don't think I want to eat their food. But there you go. Look at that pretty leather stacking. SOG Bowie 2.0. Man, that fucking, look at that. Isn't that attractive? You know, whether it's useful or not don't matter when it's this good looking, in my opinion. You know? Anyway. Alright, everybody have a good one. And yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.